Hi, hey, hello. My name is Naomi, if you didn't guess already, and welcome or welcome back to my channel and also my bedroom. We've got Sid in the background again. I bought a ring light, and if it's really annoying in my glasses, I'm sorry. I can take them off in future videos as I can see without them. It's just that my phone mounts right in the middle of it. And I bought these little microphones. I don't have it clipped to my clothes because that's kind of annoying. So I'm just gonna hold it and hope for the best. Hopefully the light and audio quality is a little bit better for this one. I have been gone for a year at this point. I know this. I am so sorry that I just keep dipping out of nowhere, but I'm here. Hello. I wanted to address a couple things in this video. So first is going to be an update on my last video, just for if anyone's interested in that. It was my June 2024 monthly update video. The second is going to be what's been going on with me recently, just talking about that a little bit. And then the third is what I kind of plan for this channel, because I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do, but I think I have a little bit of a plan. So we'll get into that, okay? So first up is going to be an update. In that video, I was starting everyone talking about reading, and I didn't hit my goal of 12 books in a year, but I did read 9 books in total. I read the entire Artemis Fowl series, so all 8 of those books, and then I read Coraline, and I sat and read Coraline in the space of 3 hours. I just sat and read the entire thing, and I did like it. It was good, but kind of weird, kind of intense actually, which I knew I was getting into anyway with it, with everything that I've read about it in the past. But in that video, I did pick up this book, Exciting Times. So I've had this for almost a year now, and I did get around to reading it. I'm so sorry. I do not know how to pronounce the name of this author, but the last name's Dolan, so we're just gonna go with that. I'm assuming that it's an Irish name with Irish names just don't get pronounced the way that they're written. Um, but I'm assuming that because the main female character is an Irish person. Honestly, the times were not that exciting. I rated it a 2.5 because it was very middle of the road the entire way. Not a single person was a good person, and not a single person became a good person by the end of this book. I don't know what all of these reviews are talking about when they're just oh, it's so progressive. It's such a good look at modern love. It's really not. It's really not, okay? The amount of times that I was reading this book and I was just thinking, this is a horrible example of a romance. This is a horrible relationship. What do you mean? This is just a bad situation all around. The only reason that I rated it as high as I did is for the middle section. So it's split into 3 sections. It is split into Julian, Edith, and then Julian and Edith. And the middle section on Edith, that is the part that I liked. That is the part that kept me reading this book and hoping for a redemption in the end. There was no redemption. The ending, honestly, horrible. I would have rated it 3, but the ending of this book pushed it down to a 2.5. I would not recommend reading this book unless you think that you're going to enjoy something like that. Don't do it. Don't read it. It's a bad time. I have also read a lot of other books since this. I've read so far this year 8 books. I am almost done with my 9th book of the year, which is the Doctor Who book. Um, I was reading that before recording this because my phone needed charging. So I was just reading that a little bit more, and I'm so close to the end of it. I'm not liking this much as I like the one before it. The one that I'm reading currently is The Last Dodo. And the one before this was Sting of the Zygons. That's what I've read before this one. So yeah, Sting of the Zygons, honestly, horrifying. But The Last Dodo, I don't know how I feel about it. It's a bit weird. In terms of crochet, I haven't really been doing much. I made some baby axolotls. I'm going to try and find pictures and put them up on the screen if I can. I made some baby axolotls, and then I made a larger one for a friend of mine. And I have been working on this tree. It doesn't look like a tree very much, but it's a tree. It's supposed to be an advent thing. So you make it, and then there's a lid. There's a lid, and then you attach buttons, and it's supposed to be a kind of advent thing. So every day around Christmas, you will add a different decoration to the tree. This took so far 4 balls of yarn. I am not kidding. This thing, I did not realize that it was going to take this much yarn. So I ran out. and I had to order more, and I ordered the wrong color because of course I did. So it is a very different green color that I ordered, and then they ran out of this color, so I had to wait. And it is a slightly different color now, the one that I have to finish this off because it's a different dye lot, but it'll get there. And then in the middle is an opening where you can put like an entire tub of celebrations. Um, I did the bottom of it wrong, and part of me does want to frog it and like redo it, but I've already weaved in the ends of everything except like the part that I'm still working with. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm reworking the trunk, and I'm gonna just attach it on and hope that it makes it look a little bit better because like when it's sitting down, you can't even see that it has a trunk on it. Overall, it's not like a bad pattern. There's just certain parts that don't make sense to me, so I've had to like work around them and try and figure them out. And I think I did an okay job. Like mainly it was like this bit with the like frills that confused me, and I know that I'm gonna have to do that again for the lid, but we'll get there. It'll be fine. I did end up finishing off the like cream and grey coasters that I was working on, and I gave them to my sisters. And every time like I go round to see my older sister, especially like we go there for a lot of family things. She's using them, and it makes me so happy. Like it just makes like gives me joy to actually see that people do like the things that I make for them. And I was working on the crit this pattern. I did a couple more attempts of it, including this one. This was my final attempt before the finished product. So I did this. I reworked the pattern after this to make the C look more like an actual C because it doesn't here. Made a back panel and turned it into a little pouch where I put my notebook for D&D. So like my D&D notebook sits in that now. And I did finish off the pattern for my friend. I made a back panel for that as well, and I made it into a tiny little cushion because the amount of ends from the different colors, insane. Wasn't going to weave those in, just knotted them off and just hid them inside it. It's fine. And he likes it, and he keeps it on his couch. He sent me a picture of it on his couch, so like if I can find that, I'll put it up. But yeah, it's just like a teeny tiny little pillow, and I love it. I was also talking in that video about making a pumpkin or multiple pumpkins for my boyfriend's mum, and I did make one. And let me tell you, the amount of time that I spent on that thing, the amount of rounds of 80 stitches, 80 that I had to do to make this pumpkin, insane. I was just going off like what I thought was going to be right for it because I couldn't find a pattern for like a big pumpkin that I liked the look of. So I went off a pattern for a small one and just adjusted it as I was going. And I was like sat at work working on this thing. I was like frogging it. I was redoing it. All the customers were like, "What are you working on today, Naomi? What are you knitting up?" And I was just like, "I'm not knitting, but okay." Um It's a thing, like every time I crochet at work, all the customers are so interested in what I'm doing, and I love it. Um, but yeah, so I was working on this for a while, and I did finish it. I don't have it on me again. Like I gave it to her. She really likes it. And I might make some more for her, but it depends. It depends how much I really want to put myself through that again. And also if I can get some bigger yarn, because if I can get like thicker yarn, that'll be so much easier. But like in the UK, it's not easy to find thick yarn. You're gonna find DK weight more than anything else. You might find some like Aran weight, but that's pretty much it. Like anything else, you're gonna have to order online, and it's expensive. Like even just for this, I got this yarn on eBay because it was like the most accessible option for me to find the yarn in the color that I wanted. And I am going to use the lighter green. I'm going to use it for like Junimos or something because they look like apples anyway. It's fine. And the color name is apple green, so it works out, you know? Um, but like if I can find the pictures of that, I'll put up the picture of like it just in my palm. And then after I added the stalk to the stem to it. I don't know what happened there. In terms of video games, I have still been watching my partner play through the Uncharted games. He's still doing that. You know, it just takes a while. We play a little bit and then we move off and then we forget about it and then we come back and play a little bit. And he's like, "Do you remember what we were doing?" I'm just like, "Kinda, maybe, potentially, possibly." Give me a second. I'll figure it out. But the other day he was playing it and he left the room and I was like trying to figure out this puzzle and it took me a minute, but I figured it out and I was very proud of myself. I was very proud of myself for that moment. And then other than that, I played The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us Part 2, sorry. We've also watched the first season of that. We haven't watched the second season, though a lot of people are saying it's bad. So I don't know. But like the game, it was good. I don't know what else to say about it. Like I enjoyed it. I probably wouldn't play it again. You know? Like it's just not my kind of play again game. But it's a game that I'm glad I played, and I'm glad that he played the first one for me to watch him do it because I couldn't do it myself. And then other than that, I've been playing the ukulele. I've been practicing a little bit, not a lot, but I've still been practicing because I own a ukulele. So like I'm gonna use it eventually, you know? Like I'm not just gonna ignore that it exists now. Since that video, me and my partner have built a small unit in my living room to replace the cardboard box that I was talking about that had been there since I moved in. So that went well. And then quite recently, like just the other day, my mum and my brother came round to help me build a wardrobe in my bedroom. So I have a wardrobe now, and I've moved my bookcase into like the space that I was sitting in for videos, like between my living room and my kitchen. That space now has my bookcase. So my books are a lot more like easily accessible now because there's not stuff like right in front of them in the way. And I need to help my sister sort out her attic so that she can give me coat hangers for in the wardrobe so that I can actually have a place for all of my clothes now instead of just some of them being on a chair constantly. I think that that's everything for the updates. So on to part two. I'm still in the same job that I was in the last time I recorded, and that might not seem like a huge thing for a lot of people, but it is for me because it's been over a year now, and my CV is full of jobs that lasted 3 to 6 months. After about 3 months, the excitement wears off, my mental health starts getting bad again, and I just can't stay in a job. But this job, my management have been like really supportive. It's very flexible. I can take time off if I need it. Anytime that I'm working more hours than I am supposed to, or usually working a week, I get more time off the next week to make up for it. And it's, you know, it's going well. Like I'm still enjoying it. I wouldn't be there if I wasn't. And yeah, like I am very happy that I'm still in a job and that it has lasted as long as it has. And like a lot of people just don't see that as a huge achievement. I mean, a lot of my friends do for me because they know what it's like. But like, if I told strangers, they probably would just be like, "That's not really anything." Like, I've been in a job for like 12 years. I'm just over here like I haven't though. I've never even lasted this long. This is a great achievement for me, and it's still going. It's still going. I'm still there. I'm not exactly in trouble at all. Like my mental health fluctuates as it always will, but it is what it is. I am still struggling to find a little bit of a balance between like work and seeing my partner, seeing friends, seeing family, like, doing things that I enjoy. So I've not been recording anything. I've not been streaming. I've not really had the energy to play games or crochet or do a lot of the things that I enjoy with my life, but it is still just taking time to find that balance. And I know that it seems insane that it's been over a year and I still haven't found that. But like the things that I need to do every week change constantly. The shifts that I'm doing change. The things that I need to do for my health and like to see my family change. It's just a constant thing of working my schedule around everybody else and figuring out what days I need to take off for myself. So making videos and streaming has just been on a bit of a back burner because on the days where I'm not working or seeing anybody, I'm so exhausted that I just need time to rest and recover and just like get everything back to normal again. Um so I have still been playing some of my favorite games like Stardew Valley and Skyrim and Hades and things like that. It's just not as often because I need a lot of time to just be lying down and on the couch watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Supernatural, like watching Gilmore Girls for the millionth time or something like that. You know, it's just it is what I need to do. It's just a whole thing. You know, it's just a whole thing. On top of all of that, I have developed a new illness. Woo, go me. 27. I developed a new illness. A couple months back, about like 4 months ago now, I was out playing a new hobby that I picked up, which is Magic the Gathering. I was out playing that with my partner and some friends, and all of a sudden, my body just did not feel good. In my chest, in my throat, I felt like I had trapped gas really bad. And I'd felt that before, like if I'd eaten too quickly or whatever. So I thought, oh, in a couple hours, maybe in the morning, like I'll be fine. And it just never went away. So after about a week of not really being able to eat or drink or do anything because I was in pain and bloated and feeling horrible and nauseous all the time, I went to the doctors and sat down, explained my symptoms. He said, "That's dyspepsia. Here's some medication." The way that I had it explained to me was that it's chronic indigestion. So I've been taking this medication for months. I was constantly messaging them saying like, "Hey, I need more medication and also a med review, please." And he was just filling my prescription. He was just, "Hey, here's more meds." This last couple weeks, like a couple weeks ago, he messaged me and saying, "I'll fill the prescription this time, but you need to come in for a med review." And I was like I've been asking for months. But okay, I'll do that. So I booked him for a med review. Went in and I saw a woman instead. Like my doctors changes all the time. It's just whoever's there on the day, and there's only ever like one person in the practice that you can see at a time. But I saw this woman and she sat down with me. She heard my symptoms, like got me on the table, pressed around on my stomach. They're just like, "Does this hurt?" And it's like, "You're pressing very hard." So yes, it does actually. She grabbed my arm, was like, "Your pulse is fine." And then she sat me down and she was like, "Are you sure that he didn't send you for like any tests whatsoever?" And I was like, "No, I would know. Like I was not sent for anything. I was just told, here's some medication, no follow-up, no nothing." She was so shocked by this. So she sent me for a couple tests. I do still have a blood test coming up on Friday that I'm still going for, but the other tests that I've done came back negative. There is nothing wrong with me in terms of infection or virus or anything like that. So there's nothing that they can treat that would have caused this. Um, and the medication that I'm on essentially just suppresses the stomach acid. It makes it like my stomach produce less of that, and it doesn't really do much. I should be able to come off this medication by now because most people who get put on it are on it for a couple months. Their body readjusts. They're absolutely fine. A lot of women who get put on it are pregnant at the time, and then when they're not pregnant anymore, they don't have an issue. I'm not pregnant. I'm just I'm just out here living my life and my body's doing weird things. So because these tests are negative, I now have to be on a waiting list to be seen by a gastro person in the hospital to go and have a camera put down my throat into my stomach. And I found that out today. I had that doctor's appointment today. It was last week that I had the first appointment for the test, and then this week was for the results of most of the tests. So yeah, now I'm just on a waiting list, and it could be a while because hospitals can take over a year to get back to you. She's put on it basically asking like, please see this person sooner rather than later, especially because the medication that I'm on, lansoprazole, you're not supposed to be on that long term. It's like a maximum of 6 months that they usually prescribe it for. That is it. Like you're not supposed to be on these medications long term. I was on one tablet a day of 30 milligrams, and then I've been upped to a double dosage of that every single day to see if it makes any difference. She was saying that they could put me on the other medication, which is omeprazole, but instead she just would really rather me go for this gastro appointment and have a camera down to see what exactly is going on with my stomach causing these issues, especially because she said I'm too young for this to be happening out of nowhere. And because it did happen out of nowhere, because I was just having a normal day and all of a sudden my body decided, hey, we've not had a new illness in a while. So I'm taking each day as it comes. Like I'm still taking antacids every single day. I'm still not able to drink anything fizzy. So I've not been having energy drinks. Surprise, surprise. No withdrawal symptoms, which everyone is shocked at. I told people I wouldn't have any, but they didn't believe me. Um, Overall, it's just life. Like it is what it is, and I'm dealing with it as I can. I'm still able to eat. I'm still able to drink. I'm just not able to drink anything fizzy. I've had to cut out certain foods, but I'm still able to live my life and go about my day. And most of the time, I'm okay enough to function. Other than that, I've been all right overall. You know, like it just fluctuates. It goes up, it goes down. Some days I'm exhausted. Well, every day I'm exhausted. Some days I'm more exhausted. Some days I'm really good and hyper and bouncing all over the place. Like things with my family are okay. I see my family when I can. I work still. My niece and my nephew are now both over a year old and doing well. They're doing great. My niece cries every time she sees me, and then she realizes that I'm not a threat and calms down. I honestly, it's mostly because I accidentally scare her every time. Like I'll walk into a room, she'll be expecting her mom and not me, and start crying when she realizes that it's not her mom. I just, I'm not your mom. Okay, I'm just your auntie. It's fine. But she'll like play with me now a little bit and stuff. And my nephew still obsessed with me, still stares at me every single time I enter her room. And then things with my boyfriend have been all right. We're planning to go away for a weekend soon, just because it's not happened in a while. And we're still trying to move in together. That's still a thing. It's still a thing. Still trying to happen. It'll happen when it happens. Which brings me to part 3. What the hell am I gonna do with this channel? I've tried out a couple things, and although I have enjoyed everything that I have tried out, nothing has really stuck. And I'm still not 100%, but what I realized recently is that I really enjoy reading books, and I want to come on here and talk about the books that I read, either every time I finish one or every couple months to go through like however many books I've read in those months. I'm not a like huge reader who can read 100 books a month, but I read 1 or 2 a month. So like maybe like quarterly videos going through the books that I've read and reviewing them would be great, especially because that puts a lot less of a mental load on me being like having to make videos. One book that I really want to do like a huge deep dive into actually is this one. I Follow You by Peter James. Never in my life have I read a more insane piece of literature. I I had never read a Peter James book before. I was in the charity shop. They had a whole collection of them. And then there was this one. And I read the blurb and I was like, that sounds interesting. I just hit the mic on my shin. I'm so sorry. I was like, that sounds interesting. That sounds like a book I'll enjoy. And then I read it. And I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but not at any point in this book did I expect what came next. Not at any point in this book did this blurb give me anything to go off. I did not expect a single thing. Insane. Insane. And I don't know. I don't know if I ever want to read the detective series that Peter James is known for, especially after this, because what was this? What was this book? But no, I want to do like an entire deep dive into that because like I still have not processed the things that I read in this book, and that was the first book that I read this year. I have read 7 books since then, nearly 8 books since then, and I have still not processed it. I am still not over it. We all know that I have tried multiple things for this channel, which I've already said. And overall, this seems like the best plan that I can have moving forward into something that I will enjoy, something that's not going to be a huge mental load. Especially because I love to yap about the books that I read. My best friend gets the brunt of it. She can't really read a lot of books, so she lives vicariously through me, just yapping about these books, being excited, being like confused, going insane over what I read in these books. She lives for that. And I love that she does, but I would love to yap to somebody else about it, especially because my boyfriend tries to be interested, but the books that I read just aren't exactly his thing. So he will listen to me, but he's not as excited about it as I want him to be, you know? So I want to come and like find people who are excited about the books I'm reading. I also don't read a lot of like new releases. I read the Hush Hush series, which I read when I was like 13 or 14 years old for the first time. Like I went back to that and I was reading that and I loved it and I would love to talk about that. But I don't see a lot of people talking about it because it's old at this point. You know, I see people talking about new books. And I'm just somebody that's trying to get through the books that I've collected over the years and also buying new books. I bought 2 new books yesterday because my boyfriend was like, you're on a book buying ban, and then he was like, okay, you can buy 2 books. So I got the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Is that what it's called? The one that's set in like Dream Valley or something like that. Dream Harbor. That's it. Dream Harbor. Because apparently it's really good, and it sounds like a book that I'll enjoy. And then I got Me Before You because I watched the film and it destroyed me, so I want to read the book. I watched the film like years ago, so like I want to read the book. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's my basic plan. We'll see how it goes, and if I enjoy it or not, we'll see if I can continue with it long term. Overall, I want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed and like followed me through the different content changes on this channel. I know that it's not like a lot of people, but I do actually like thoroughly appreciate every single one of you and every single person who watches my videos. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl in a pancake bodysuit making videos on my bed about stuff that I do in my life. I am going to still continue to make videos on like mental health and me and updates about me and my life. It's just, I really like books and I'm really glad that I got back into reading. And I really, really want to share the books that I read with you and what I love about them and potentially what I hate about them as well. So that's it. I hope that you all enjoyed this and are as excited about the upcoming videos as I am. I hope that the visual and audio quality is decent. If it's not, I'm going to cry. I'm only kidding. I'll just post it anyway. It's fine. I'm gonna try and edit this as best as I can because there are a lot of moments that I need to like for this. But yeah, so I will see you all when I see you all. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want, but no pressure as always. Comment. Tell me a book recommendation. I will add it to my ever-growing list of books that I want to read. Also, you can follow me on Fable. That's it. You can follow me on like Fable. All of my socials are always in the description, but I'll put that as well because I do write all of my reviews on Fable. So, like, if you want to follow me on there, follow me on there. We'll have a good time, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.